Next one, if you experience reduction in the prices. So whenever you will feel that there is reduction in the prices, that reduction in the prices will lead to increase in the demand. So this simple demand and supply, if you remember the first class, whenever the prices goes down, the quantity demanded by the individual will go up. Simple enough. The prices of petrol, whenever they will increase, obviously demand for petrol goes down. Obviously not in particular to the prices, because petrol is a necessity. If you think about other commodity, prices will inelastic, elastic. We'll not discuss that because UPSC will never ask the question on elasticity or inelasticity. But I'll tell you what is the meaning of elasticity of taxation and buoyancy of taxation. So these are two terms mentioned in the newspaper. Elasticity and buoyancy. We'll discuss in last. But here, in simple sense, whenever the prices goes down of any commodity, quantity demanded will go up. Getting my point? Like for example, prices of food, restaurant, just because of these companies like Zomato and Uber Eats, etc. Prices of food in the restaurant went down. So if you see that all over the city, you will find these riders. So prices goes down, quantity demanded of the food goes up. Getting my point? Because you are getting these foods at 50%, maybe 60%, 40%, depends. सिंपल इनफ. ठीक है, समझ में आ रहा है ना? तो फेसेस देख के मुझे लग नहीं रहा, बोर हो रहा है क्या बहुत ज़्यादा? समझ में आ रहा है? ठीक है. After demand, obviously demand will go up because of reduction in the prices. Whenever demand will go up, it means consumption will also go up. People will consume more. So whenever consumption will go up, what will happen? India is a consumption driven economy. If you remember the discussion of the previous classes, now India or Indian economy is driven by high consumption, not by investment. Because since the day one I was discussing that there was high consumption driven economy, lack of private investment, lack of government investment. Getting my point? So India is a consumption driven economy. So whenever you will experience reduction in the prices, increase in the demand will lead to increase in the consumption. Whenever these producers will see that there is rise in the consumption, what they will do now? They will increase the investment, and ultimately this investment will lead to increase in the production. यही लिखा है आपकी कॉपी में. See, this particular production will lead to, obviously, when your whole economy experience high amount of production, whole economy aggregate. So aggregate production will go up. It will lead to high GDP growth rate. GDP कैसे measure करते हैं? Remember the class number 2. On the production. So if you will experience the high production of goods and services, you will experience high amount of GDP growth rate, like 7%, 8%, or what we are aiming at 10%. यही तो aim है ना, to achieve double digit growth rate. Getting my point? So you will experience high amount of GDP growth rate. Now think from taxation perspective, because we are studying GST. So we link this high GDP growth rate towards taxes. So whenever you will experience high GDP growth rate, it means everyone is producing more. If they are producing more, it means they will be paying more taxes. So whenever you will experience high GDP growth rate, suppose you are experiencing high income growth in your personal income, you will pay more income tax. On the same lines, if producers are experiencing high production, what will happen? They will have to pay more taxes. So it means if GDP growth rate goes up, then government will collect high amount of revenue. So whenever you will experience high GDP growth rate and high taxation, then tax to GDP ratio will go up. Now what is the meaning of tax to GDP ratio? So there is one ratio called tax to GDP ratio, obviously, tax upon GDP. So amount of taxation, so tax upon GDP. Now it is measured on the, which kind of GDP, nominal or real? Nominal GDP. We always measure on nominal GDP, like fiscal deficit, 3.2% of GDP. अपन हमेशा पढ़ते हैं. But what type of GDP? There are two types of GDP, nominal और real. ये कहीं नहीं लिखा होगा, ना टेक्स्ट बुक में लिखा होगा, ना न्यूज़पेपर में लिखा होगा. but these are always nominal GDP. Now here, tax to GDP ratio will go up.
So why?
Because real changes with the particular price level. Here nominal GDP is simple. It also shows the money supply in the economy. Okay. So in India's around 151 lakh crore is the nominal GDP. If you increase the money supply in the economy, obviously it is not increasing the actual production, but is it experiencing a rise in the price level? So that is also related with tax buoyancy. Okay, I'll explain, but first understand this tax to GDP ratio. India's tax to GDP ratio is 17.1%. So what do you think? It is high, low, or obviously I have to tell you some other countries' example as well in order to relate. But what do you think? 17% of GDP. 17% of GDP, India's GDP is 151.9 lakh crore. Okay. So 17% roughly it will come around कितना आएगा 25 something 2.5 lakh crore. So what do you think?
Yes, it should be.
So it should be more, because you know that in India there are only 3.94% of the population will pay income tax. So under income tax bracket only 3.94% people, almost 4% people are paying income tax. Such a shocking data, 4%. If you see the foreign visit, if you see the luxury cars, obviously it will go more than 4% of 125 crore of the population. Getting my point? So in India, the income tax base we had discussed in the last class, padha tha panne, tax base. So number of people included in that particular tax bracket is what we call tax base. So 17.1%. Denmark is having 45% tax to GDP ratio. If we see that 17.5%, 10% is of central government, central taxes. And the remaining, these are approximate figures, this is the exact figures. This is the exact figure, 17.1 of 2017. So it is quite low. But I cannot tell you because these are provisional estimates. This will be revised after 1 year. So in every year they will revise. So there are 3 types of data: budget estimate, provisional estimate, actual estimates. So these are actuals. Like we are in current fiscal is 2018-19. So whenever they will give the data of 2018-19, that is of estimate. Estimated in March or in February, because 1st February is the date of the budget. So on 1st February 2018, they have given some kind of data. That is what we call budget estimate of 2018-19. So we cannot rely on that data. For that 17-18, that is what we call the estimate, provisional estimate or revised estimate. So suppose, for example, government will do a midterm review of every data in November 2018 of 2018-19. That is known as revised estimate. Because what government estimated in February, maybe somewhere in November, they have to revise that particular data. ठीक है, तो उसमें अपन नहीं जा रहे हैं. These are statistics. Getting my point? But we'll discuss in budget in March whenever I'll take the classes of budget. So I'll discuss that, what kind of data government publishes. At that time we will discuss some basic feature of the budget, then we'll move on to the current budget. ठीक है, tax to GDP should go up according to this scale का task force. Whenever tax to GDP will go up, what will be the next? लिखा है मैंने आपको, देखो. Whenever you find tax to GDP ratio will go up, tax बढ़ेगा तो क्या कम होगा? Fiscal deficit. Because fiscal deficit is simple borrowing of the government. ठीक है. Next topic is of your all the deficits. So after completion of this GST, we'll move on to the second topic of that flow chart, borrowing. Under that borrowing, we'll discuss 6 types of deficit. So we'll discuss fiscal deficit, but for the sake of understanding this particular point, fiscal deficit is just the what? Is the borrowing of the government. So if tax amount of taxation will go up. It means what will happen? Government has to borrow less. So if tax to GDP ratio will go up, government borrowing will come down. So we'll be able to reduce the fiscal deficit. That is why our finance minister always shouting that fiscal deficit should be 3%. अब कैसे करेंगे 3%? 3% of GDP. That is nominal GDP. If you increase the money supply, nominal GDP will go up. If you're not maintaining that particular fiscal deficit, obviously you are able to control that fiscal deficit at 3%. नया समझो. Fiscal deficit is simple percentage of GDP. So whatever in the last budget it was 3.2% of GDP. So fiscal deficit, the amount of fiscal deficit upon GDP. So if you are not able to control this fiscal deficit, if suppose this fiscal deficit is experiencing increasing and increasing, you just increase the money supply in the economy. So your nominal GDP will go up. If your numerator is going up and denominator you will also push up, you are able to maintain fiscal deficit at 3%. That is the real situation. ऐसा करते हैं सरकार, अपन को पता नहीं चलता. इसलिए that is why every time you have to look to the actual figure, fiscal deficit. So 5.46 lakh crore is the fiscal deficit of government of India. समझ रहे आप बात? Divided by 151.9 lakh crore. 15.5, almost 3%. This is actual data. This is not approximation. 51. If you're not able to control this, if you increase this, you're able to maintain that percentage of fiscal deficit. Getting it? So government sometimes do these kind of activities in order to maintain fiscal deficit. नोट छाप दिए हैं.
वो तो सर अलाउड नहीं है.
अलाउड नहीं है तो क्या हुआ? मनी सप्लाई तो बढ़ा सकते हैं ना.
फिस्कल डेफिसिट को मतलब फाइनेंस थोड़ी कर सकती है गवर्नमेंट.
फाइनेंस नहीं करना है. वी जस्ट हैव टू पंप अ न्यू करेंसी इन द इकोनॉमी. What happened after demonetization? If you see the data, all the currency is now back in the economy.
FRBM जो एक्ट है उसमें यही था कि
No, you cannot print, but you can increase the money supply. How? I'll tell you. If government is holding some amount of money in the kitty, then government invested that money in the economy. So money supply in the economy will go up. RBI is having reserves. That's what the current debate is. If they will release that particular reserve in the economy, money supply goes up. People will have more currency. If you increase the payment of central government employees under 7th Central Pay Commission, that will also result in increase in the money supply.
जैसे पहले गवर्नमेंट रेजिस्टेंटली आरबीआई को बोलती थी कि आप नई करेंसी वो प्रिंट करो.
That is not allowed after 1997. 1997. After 1997, there was a concept called Ways and Means in Advance, WMA. अगर आपको एक्स्ट्रा पढ़ना है तो आप कहीं लिख लो उसको, WMA. Ways and Means in Advance in 1997. So after 1997, government cannot direct RBI to print currency. That is why after 1997 we do not have a budget deficit. So we'll discuss deficit. I'll tell you there. Yeah, sure.
फिस्कल डेफिसिट कम कैसे होगा?
कम नहीं होगा, मैं बता रहा हूँ, ऐसा सरकार करती है. क्या किया? ये तो किया ना. फिस्कल डेफिसिट टारगेट इज व्हाट? 3%. लास्ट ईयर ये अचीव होना चाहिए था. बट व्हाट हैपेंड? गवर्नमेंट gave some arguments that due to this we were not able to achieve the target. So we are just maintaining 3.2% this year as well, and the next year we are aiming at 3% of GDP.
So what are the repercussions if we are not able to?
Repercussions are many. We'll discuss in fiscal deficit. Here just I'm telling tax to GDP ratio. We'll discuss fiscal deficit in detail. What are the effects of high fiscal deficit? Why government is always trying to reduce fiscal deficit. We'll discuss FRBM committee, review of FRBM committee. ठीक है, under NK Singh. We will also discuss that FRBM Act of 2003. That is also very, very important as well as relevant for examination purpose till the year 2023. अगर तब तक का आपका एग्जाम देने का प्लान है तो तब तक वो वैलिड है. FRBM Act of 2003. अभी बहुत सारे क्वेश्चन है, आप अपने क्लास नोट्स में देखेंगे. मेंस में प्लानिंग कमीशन वर्सेस नीति आयोग, मैं आपको लिखाया था एक एक डिफरेंसेस. लॉन्ग टर्म कैपिटल गेंस मेरे को पढ़ाना था, भोपाल में पढ़ा चुका था मेंस से पहले. बहुत सारे क्वेश्चंस आए हुए क्लास नोट से. इंक्लूसिव ग्रोथ का एक और क्वेश्चन है, यू कैन राइट डायरेक्टली फ्रॉम योर क्लास नोट्स. Because in economics it is not a direct questions. Whatever I am giving is all the ingredients. You can use these points in the answer writing. आपको as it is नहीं मिलेगा आंसर इकोनॉमी का. That's the beauty of the subject. You will not find as it is question as it is answer. Like in other subjects you will find like. ठीक है. But in economy you should have points. You can use those points in answer writing. ठीक है, टेक्स्ट टू जीडीपी हो गया. नाउ यू अंडरस्टैंड द रिलेशनशिप. देन यू विल एलिमिनेट रेवेन्यू डेफिसिट. दैट आई एक्सप्लेन लेटर बिकॉज आई हैव टू डिस्कस रेवेन्यू डेफिसिट. सो फर्स्ट यू अंडरस्टैंड रेवेन्यू डेफिसिट, देन यू विल अंडरस्टैंड दिस पॉइंट. ठीक है, मैं आऊँगा वापस. जैसे आपको रेवेन्यू डेफिसिट पढ़ाऊंगा, यू विल रियलाइज दैट व्हाई वी हैव टू एलिमिनेट द रेवेन्यू डेफिसिट. Getting my point? Here we are talking about reducing the fiscal deficit to 3%. But on the side of revenue deficit, we are just trying to eliminate revenue deficit. So it means revenue deficit is more detrimental for the economy and for the government as well. Getting my point? ठीक है. Next, obviously, there are a few points like it will improve productivity, and that ultimately lead to integration of Indian economy with with other countries, where 160 plus countries are having GST. So there is no question that GST is good or bad. If I'll ask you that GST is good or bad, what do you say? How many countries we are having in the world? Around 193 UN members. तो इतनी तो है ही. Other countries, if we include, around 210. If we include other overseas territory as well, maybe 230. So among these 200 countries, 160 plus countries are having GST. So it means there is no question that GST is bad. GST is good. Then why other persons, or why all the individuals are criticizing GST, India's GST? Why? So it's all about implementation. We'll discuss in criticism that although 160 plus countries are having, but India has a unique feature of GST. ठीक, वो क्रिटिसिज्म तक ही रहने देते हैं, अभी सस्पेंस खत्म हो जाएगा. ठीक है. सो दिस कंप्लीट्स आवर डिस्कशन. नाउ यू सी द रिलेशनशिप. इफ यू हैव एनी डाउट यू कैन आस्क, बिकॉज दिस रिलेशनशिप इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम कैस्केडिंग इफेक्ट टू इंक्रीज इन दिस प्रोडक्टिविटी. ठीक है. एनी डाउट यू कैन आस्क राइट नाउ.
So we keep comparing with PR consumption in this economy, not the investment. Here we will determine increase in consumption will lead to increase in the investment. But why it is not happening right now?
Just because of two sudden policy changes, demonetization, GST. Just private investment is driven by only profit expectation and future expectation of the business. That is what we call marginal efficiency of capital. Here marginal efficiency of capital means how efficient your capital is in order to give you returns. If you're not seeing any returns 5 years, 10 years down the line, obviously you will not invest. Getting my point? So investment kab hoga? When you see the scope of return. Whenever you are not, suppose for example, I will say that let's go and make a partnership and we will open the shop of traditional mobile phones, that button wala. Will you come with me? No. बोले खुद का पैसा तो गएगा, मेरा भी डूबेगा. Because you will not see any future profit expectation on that particular product. So first thing is, private investment is always driven by profit on future expectation. That is what called marginal efficiency of capital. वो भी दिख नहीं रहा because of sudden policy changes. Government should be predictable. I always say, government should be predictable. It should not become unpredictable. Like in the recent Monetary Policy Committee, if you read the newspaper for 1 year, you will predict that what will happen in the next Monetary Policy Committee meeting. But suddenly, if you read in the newspaper that RBI increases repo rate by 1%, that is not what market expect. Getting my point? Market expects around constant rate or maybe increase of 0.25%. Just because of rise in the crude oil prices as well as rise in the that MSP, not rupee appreciation, MSP also. RBI gave two reasons: crude oil prices and MSP. We'll discuss agriculture. Agriculture is the next topic. सैटरडे तक एग्रीकल्चर मेजर चंक विल कंप्लीट ऑफ एग्रीकल्चर, ठीक है. एंड GS पेपर 3 मीन्स एग्रीकल्चर. In mains, if you are thinking about economics, most of the question will come from agriculture. So GS paper 3 means agriculture. आपने सिलेबस लिखा था, मैंने हाथ से लिखने को बोला था ना आपको. अगर आप उसको याद करेंगे, देखेंगे, उसमें there are 50% topics related to agriculture. We'll discuss one by one. ठीक है. Done? Any doubt?